So hello everyone and welcome to this week's Alertus Power Lunch, Navigating the Customer Portal. So in this session, we will walk through the Customer Portal, which is Alertus's knowledge base and resource hub. This session will equip you with the knowledge and skills to effectively locate all of the valuable Alertus and AlertAware resources located within the Customer Portal, which is at help.alertus.com. And as always, this is an interactive session, so please feel free to ask any questions using the Q&A feature. And please also be aware that the session is being recorded for training purposes, and any Power Lunch webinars that you register for, you will get a follow-up email with the recording after the session. But without further introduction, we will go ahead and get started. So I will go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to start by just briefly taking a look in the Alertus console. So for those that are not familiar, the Alertus console is the web-based user interface where you are able to activate and manage your Alertus system. And access to the Alertus console is controlled internally by your organization. Everyone has a unique URL to access the Alertus console for their system. But if you are logged into the Alertus console and you click this support button at the bottom left, then it will bring you to this support resources page where we have the support team's contact information. We have their email address and phone number if you did ever need to connect with Alertus support. And then we do also have a link to the customer portal right here in this customer resources section. So if you ever need to access the customer portal, that's one way to do it. I'll just click the link here. And then, like I mentioned, the customer portal is just at help.alertus.com if you did want to just go there directly or bookmark it. But I will go ahead and click to log in to the customer portal. Unlike that Alertus console that is controlled internally, specific to your organization, the customer portal here is hosted by Alertus. So your login to the customer portal is not going to be connected to your login to the Alertus console or your AlertAware portal. And if you do not yet have an account to log into the customer portal, you can reach out to your Alertus account manager or also training team at alertus.com, and then we can go in and create a customer portal account for you or any other team members that might need one. And on the login page for the customer portal, you'll notice on the right-hand side here, we do have information about the upcoming Power Lunch sessions for the month. And I'll update this image every month so that you can see the upcoming Power Lunch webinars. Here's the one that we are doing today. So if you ever see anything here that you are interested in, you can just click the link and it'll bring you to the Alertus events page where you'll be able to sign up for upcoming Power Lunches. And then back on the login screen, if you did ever forget your password for the customer portal, there is a reset your password link here. Most likely your username would be your email address, and then you can create whatever password you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And this is logging in with my personal email. So this is what the customer portal would look like for you all signing in. And right when you do log into the customer portal, it'll take you to a homepage here with a number of tiles at the top. Personally, I visit the tiles on this top row most often, so I wanted to walk through each of those today. And the first one is this submit a ticket tile. So if you select this option, then it will bring you to this page where you are able to submit a support ticket for the Alertus support team. So you would just specify the product category, and then you can give a description of what's going on. Hit next. There's also a spot that you can upload a file if you have any screenshots, and then that will submit it directly to our support team so that they can reach out and assist with troubleshooting. We do also have some links to some helpful guides for some common support topics, like for example, updating SSL certificates. If you see something that would be helpful here, you can also view the link to go directly to those guides. And then if you do scroll down to the very bottom, this will show you any of your cases that you have submitted. So you can keep track of the status here, and you can click the link always to get some more information about the case. And then if I go back to the homepage here, the next tile at the top is this My Account tile. And this is where you can go to see a bunch of specific account information. We do also have support contact information at the top. And then if you are ever wondering who your Alertus account manager is, your account manager is the best point person for discussing your account as well as any products or integrations. And you'll be able to see who your account manager is at the top here, as well as their email address. And then you can see any previous products that you have purchased listed here to keep track of those. Here's another spot that you can see any cases that have been submitted for your account. And then if you are a portal admin with permission to add new contacts to your account, then you will also see this contacts section here. So this is where you can go, if you see contacts, you can add new contacts in this spot, and that will associate them with your account. So if they needed to call support, they have permission to talk with support about your system. And then this is also how you can add new contacts to the customer portal yourself. If you don't want to wait for me or your account manager to do it, you can fill out additional information, and then once you save a new contact, they would also have access to log into this customer portal. And then if I hit the back arrow again, there is also a software downloads tile here. This is where you can access software downloads, for example, for updated server software or for desktop software. And depending on the types of products and solutions that you are using, you might have a few different software download options just based on your account. If, for example, you were looking for updated Alertus desktop software that you can install to have your desktops start receiving alerts, you can find that by clicking the Alertus desktop link. And we have a number of files here. The most updated desktop software for Windows would be this version 7 installer. And then we do also have information about Mac clients as well. If you do need updated software for Mac, that would be something that the support team can provide you with. Just due to their security policies, the support team can create the installer for you. And we have a little note here explaining that. So all the desktop software needs, you can find them here. And then we do also have the updated server software on this page that you can access. Typically, we have updates to the Alertus server, major updates at least, happening twice a year, once in the winter and once in the summer. So our summer release should be coming out soon, I believe in just a couple of weeks. So once we release the new server software, you would be able to find it listed in this page that you can download and then run to apply the update. And if you ever need help updating your server software with an active licensing and support agreement, that is something that the support team can also assist you with. If you wanted to go back to that previous tile and open up a case with them, they can assist you with any upgrades and software updates. And then the last tile at the top here I did want to take a look at is this documentation tile. And this is just a link to a bunch of documents and resources for different Alertus console topics, different hardware products. So if, for example, you're looking for some more information about your HPSA devices, you can click the link here. It'll bring you to installation guides, user guides for the high-powered speaker array systems. So that's a great place to go if you are looking for specific documentation. You can browse all of these different topics. And then if I navigate back to the home page here, I'm just going to keep scrolling down on this page. And here's where we have some additional links to helpful documentation and user guides. For example, we have a new user training section going through some fundamentals, like sending out a test alert. We have some troubleshooting resources. We have information about different product types here. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see a bunch of helpful links and guides. One of my favorite sections that I think is helpful is this web console section. We do have an article or user guide here for every page in the Alertus console. So the topic outlines that you see here will line up exactly with the topics and information that you'll see on the left-hand side navigation bar in your Alertus console. So say, for example, you are setting up groups in your system and you want more help making sure you're assigning devices to groups in the right way. You can click this link to go to the device assignment rules user guide page that'll walk you through how to set up rules for your device assignments. And you can scroll through a user guide here. It'll walk you through step by step how to do everything on that page. And if you did scroll down towards the very bottom, most of these user guides do also have a quick how-to video that again will walk you through step by step how to do everything on that page. So that can be helpful as well. And then if I come back to the main login page here, I did also want to mention we do have a search bar right at the top, which is very helpful if you're looking for something specific. Like for example, if you're installing new alert beacons, you could search for the alert beacon installation guide. And then once you hit enter, it'll show all of the related documentation showing up here. So this first one is that installation guide that I was looking for. That'll walk you through step by step how to install a new alert beacon. And we do have a ton of documents and information here. If you do ever have trouble finding a particular document or you have a product question and you're not able to find the answer in the customer portal, you can also just reach out to me or just email trainingteam@alertus.com, and then I can also just reply with the documentation or the product answer that would be helpful for you. But in addition to those resources on the homepage here, I did want to take a look at a few of the tabs at the top. So if you click into this implementations tab, this is going to be most helpful for customers that are currently still going through the implementation process. It'll kind of walk you through step by step what that process looks like, how to get started, has information about all the different steps that you'll go through as you're planning your system, building the scenarios that you want alerts planned for, installing your hardware. There's a lot of good resources here. And once you are ready to roll out your Alertus system to your organization, inform all of your stakeholders, we do also have a number of organizational rollout resources here that'll walk you through that process step by step. For example, we do even have some email templates for recommendations for internal communication as you are letting your team know you've acquired an Alertus system, how to tell them exactly what it is and what it's for. And then after you've wrapped up your implementation, you are also able to access a number of training resources from this training tab. For example, we have the course catalog here. These are all the different types of training sessions that we do offer. So you can browse through these. We offer a number of different trainings for both IT system administrators, as well as some new users or alert activators. So this can give you some ideas for the different training options that are available. And then also on the training tab here, there is this page where you can go to submit a training request. So if you do want to request training for your organization with an active licensing and support agreement, every organization does get 2 training sessions just included annually with no cost. So when you're ready to schedule one of those 2 training sessions, you can just come here, fill out some information about what you're looking for, and then submit that request. And then the training team would be notified right away so they can reach out to discuss that training with you and get something scheduled for your team. And then also on the training tab here, we do have this Power Lunch videos tab. So this is a spot where you can find recordings of all of our previous Power Lunch sessions. So like this one, you can find any other session that we've done in the past from this page, and we have it broken down into some different topics for the user interface, maintaining your system, system testing. We have certain webinars about various products, including hardware installation best practices, managing your high-powered speaker arrays or Wi-Fi panic buttons. So you can always browse through these videos to see if there are any topics here that would be helpful. And then after this training tab here, we do also have a professional services tab. So this one is great, especially for the emergency managers out there. We have this emergency management resources page that has a ton of really helpful guides as you are building out a standard operating procedure for your emergencies, or if you want a template for how to plan and run a training exercise with your mass notification system, or if you just want some more templates for your emergency messages. We have a ton of documents here, and you can, of course, just click the link to go directly to that article or that document. So you can find a ton of helpful emergency management resources here that can help you, again, with planning your emergency response and building out your standard operating procedures. And one document on this tab that I wanted to highlight as well is this Alertus System Continuity Booklet. This is a really great resource you can find on the customer portal, either from that page or just by searching for it. And this continuity booklet is a document with a template for you to essentially build out all of the knowledge of your Alertus system and have it in one spot. So you're able to outline the intended behavior of your system, how you're adding your users. You can outline what your activations are, how you're going to activate the system. You can outline in each of your buildings the number of products that you have and where they're placed, the procedure for initiating an activation, whether it's a lockdown or processes for system testing. So this is just a great place to keep all of that Alertus knowledge in one spot. I know it is common for organizations to have some turnover. You might be in a situation where the previous Alertus manager or managers have left, and you might not have a bunch documented about the system and what it does and how you've been using it. So this continuity booklet is a great place to keep all of that organized so that if the Alertus team does have some turnover, you have this guide that is really helpful for the team that's taking over. So I definitely recommend downloading this and filling it out with the team just to keep all of that knowledge in one spot. And then let's see, I will move back to the homepage here. The last spot I did want to take a quick look at in the customer portal is just this news and updates column on the right-hand side. So whenever we do release a new server update or there's just any big improvements or announcements regarding the Alertus system, you should get an email about it, but you can also check this news and updates section to get the most updated information. And then if you scroll down here, we do also have the system status and advisories section. So if there are any advisories or status updates for the system, then you can see those listed here as well. So that's another spot that could be helpful to keep your eye on. But I do believe that was everything I did want to show you all in this customer portal today. The last thing I'll mention is you can see your specific login at the top. If you did ever need to log out, you can. You can also access a number of the pages that we looked at from this navigation bar. For example, you can see your cases. You can go to your My Account page from here. And then I did also want to mention if you do have any custom files made specifically for your organization. You can also access them on that My Custom Files dropdown. You'll see anything our team has created specifically for your system. But I believe with that, that is everything. So I am going to go ahead and just put some links in the chat. The first link that I will add is a user guide for how to add new contacts into the customer portal. If you do ever want to add some more people in there, you'll have this guide that'll walk you through it. And then I did also want to just include a link to that continuity booklet that I shared if you wanted to fill that out, just to outline how you use your Alertus system and all of the components in one place for your team. And then the last link that I did want to share is the link to sign up for next week's Power Lunch, which we can see on the homepage here. But next week, we are going to have a Power Lunch all about leveraging groups for effective alert recipient targeting. So if you want a refresher on how to set up and maintain device groups in your Alertus system, then the Power Lunch next week can be helpful. You can come right to the homepage, click that link to go to the page where you can sign up. Or I'm just going to share the link in the chat as well if you wanted to use that Zoom link to register directly. But with that being said, I think that was everything I had on my agenda today. We do still have a couple minutes left, so I will hang on a little bit longer if you all do have any questions. I'm not seeing any currently in the Q&A box, but feel free to put them in there or in the chat as well, and I can get those answered. But for everyone else, if there are no questions, thank you for joining the Power Lunch today. Hopefully this was a helpful overview of the customer portal, and hopefully we'll see you at some future Power Lunches coming up as well. But yeah, thank you all for your time, and I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend.